Sweet sacrament, we thee adore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. Oh, make us love thee more and more.
My name is Bryn Baertlein, and I grew up in the amazing parish of Our Lady of Lourdes in the Rice Lake area. I currently live in Duluth, Minnesota with my husband Matt, our little daughter Maria, who's almost a year old, and our little growing baby. I just remember receiving Christ in the Eucharist for the very first time in second grade, and just how special a moment that was to me. And I didn't really understand back then, but I knew how important it was to my family and to my community then. So it really wasn't until late high school and college that I started really encountering the Lord in a new and intimate way, especially when my friends would gently drag me to 7 a.m. daily Mass, either at St. Joe's or at the cathedral in Winona, Minnesota, where I went to college. And every time that I sat in Mass and intentionally listened to the consecration prayers, to the gospel readings, to the homily, and then received Jesus at communion, I just was free to just step away from my crazy daily life and experience this inner peace and joy that I could find nowhere else. And I found myself spending more and more time in adoration of the Blessed Sacrament too, whenever I had the opportunity to, especially in college. And this is where I could really just pour my heart out to the Lord and be with Him intimately. And I just remember these were the most amazing prayers and conversations that I had had with the Lord, especially while I was discerning my future vocation, what to do in life, getting engaged, and just starting our vocation of marriage there in that moment in that chapel. And it's now that I finally notice, after spending that time receiving Jesus in the Eucharist and that intentional time in prayer and adoration, that I really did begin to see the world in a totally different way and have much more virtuous priorities in my life. And now, as a wife and a mother and a youth minister, I know that I can't love well and just authentically live out my vocations without the Eucharist. It's the days that I'm able to attend daily Mass and have prayer time that I notice a softening in my heart towards myself, towards others, especially towards my spouse and my community. And that definitely comes from Christ's heart when I receive Him and spend time with Him. And it's because He is the one who'd laid down His life for me, so that I may live and do the same for the others that He's called me to love and to serve. He is the one who gives me the strength, the patience, the joy, and the surrender, and the grace just to love my husband, my children, and my community in a deeper way, especially than I can do on my own. And it is the presence of the Eucharist that really, it's then that I begin to understand that living my life and giving my time for Christ is the way, even when I wanted to do it my own way, and I think my way is much better. So, of course, there are days that I fail, but I still know that even then, He does pour out His grace over and over again in the sacrament of the Eucharist to really help me strive towards the goal of heaven, not only for myself, but especially for my husband and my vocation and my children.
Jesus, my Lord, my God.